Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to the PES Council here in Lisbon. I would like to call the first speaker to the stage, Francisco André, International Secretary of the Partido Socialista Portugal.
Good afternoon, dear friends and comrades. Welcome. It's an honor for us, for the PES, to host this PES Council today here in Lisbon. As you are aware, we are the most European party of Portugal. We have been present throughout the most important and decisive moments of the European construction in the last years. We were present on the accession to the ECC. We are present on the accession to the Eurozone, on the enlargement, on the strategy of Lisbon, and recently in the Treaty of Lisbon. Lisbon is today, for many of you and for us, the capital city of progressive thinking in Europe. We are in a country led by a socialist government that had the courage to prove that there was finally an alternative to austerity. Beyond the policy of only one thinking, of cuts on the social functions of the state, of salary cuts, of pension cuts, on reducing the income to the most needed ones, here in Portugal, we had the courage to present an alternative, a different policy. We put our effort on people, on increasing their income and changing our economic policy. And the results today are visible, are known by all of you. We reduced our deficit, our economy is growing, our employment is growing, we are creating every day more and better jobs, we have more social protection, and we restored dignity and hope to the people, especially to the pensionists, civil servants, and young people. Dear comrades, we are just a few days away from one of the most important European councils for our European Union and also for our family. As a socialist family, we must be up to the challenges that are ahead of us. We should work together. It's time for us to unite in a decisive way to present an alternative towards 2019. This Lisbon PES Council, we hope that can be the starting point for this new agenda, to present a different campaign, a new policy with a clear objective for us all, to have a victory in the next European elections, and that allow us to definitely turn the page in the European Union, and for that we count with all of you. Have a good council, good work, welcome once again.
Good afternoon. I would like to give you all a very warm salute to all of you to the city of Lisbon. I'm the proudly mayor of this city, and I hope that you find the time and I'm proudly continue the good tradition of socialist mayors here in Lisbon. I hope definitely that you'll find the time in the middle of such a busy schedule just to know better Lisbon, for the ones that don't know, to have time to see us. We made a lot of effort on this organization. Look at this weather. You don't find this in Europe. It is not all about climate change. It is a lot of work by the city, so enjoy it. Let me speak to you openly. It's a great pleasure to have you all here, and to have Lisbon to be the discussion and the center of the discussing of the progressive agenda for these next days. Lisbon has always been a huge, strong and source of inspiration for the progressive agenda. I was entering in the early years as a politician when Lisbon saw in 2000 the Lisbon agenda raising here in Lisbon by the hand of Maria João Rodrigues, by António Guterres, and many progressive fellows that we have. In 2007, the Lisbon Treaty was signed here as a movement, as an effort of collectively we continue to work and grow together. And a last source of inspiration I hope that can be given to you by the situation of the progressives here at Portugal at this moment. We had in the last October the biggest win in local elections that the Progressive Party, the Socialist Party, had ever been since 1974. And it's fair to say that a big part of this result, it is due to the agenda that António Costa and Socialist Party is putting forward at a national level. In fact, what the socialists here in Portugal were able to prove is that we can use the economical cycle in order to put the deficit and the debt down, at the same time that we improve rights, at the same time that we reduce inequalities, and most important, that we have a strong reduction of unemployment. All the theory, all the approach, all the violence that right-wing supporters put in the last years saying there is no solution, every single sentence that they make is being defeated by us in the government and ruling the country. So the big issue now here in Portugal about right-wing parties is that basically they don't have a political agenda that they generally can support, because each time they speak about things that are impossible, António just makes something and make that thing possible. So it's very difficult for them, it's a little bit frustrating, but the question is that the economy is rising, unemployment is coming down, and there is a growing confidence in government, and the confidence that government is willing to be truthful about the promises and to deliver what is going to promise in raising prospects of living for everyone. This leads me to my last point. We are facing now challenging times in Europe, and we are now living in a time where a window of opportunity is opening or had been opening by the intervention of the European Central Bank. I think we are in a critical moment of being a step forward and to put in the middle of a huge agenda of reform at European level, to be clear that we have to set a priority on reforming the Eurozone, on reforming the monetary union, on reforming the things that put us the crisis as a dimension that we had, that made the erosion of the democratic systems and many of democratic parties all around Europe, and to say we are not going to see Europe again in the level of the crisis that we saw some years ago. It's the time that we make the solutions. It's the time that we go forward with a very clear proposition, and it's time for us to make the coalitions that is going to enable us to put forward this agenda. The situation that we passed some years ago, 2-3 years ago, cannot be repeated in our history. The next one, it will not going to happen this way. It's our challenge, it's our task to make the proposals, to make the coalition that will make to move Europe forward and to move the progressive agenda forward. And let me be clear, there are hundreds of topics of discussion, but let's focus on the essential. Let's focus on making things work where they are needed to work. Employment, salaries, the prospect for everyone to see their lives improve. For a family to think that the lives of their kids is going to be better of their own again. This is our job, this is our task, and no right-wing party, no right-wing agenda is going to provide it. So I hope, and let me finish. Let me finish by this. I hope that this Council goes in the right direction and could be a milestone in the path that we are going to build, in the path that we are going to cross to this agenda and to this improvement in Europe. And I hope that Lisbon can be, again, an inspiration to all of you. Thank you very much. Have a nice day here in Lisbon. Great work. for all, it would be a great work for Europe. Thank you.
Looking to Fernando and Francisco, I guess it was the right choice to come to Lisbon, or what do you think? It was and is. So, dear friends, comrades, activists, guests, leaders, chancellors, I will come directly to the point. I have one question, I have only one question. The question is why we are here at this council in Lisbon in December 2017. I will give you some options for answers. Number one is because we have PES statutes, and it's in the statutes that we have to have regular councils. Yes, that is a reason. We are serious people. We are looking to statutes, and I can tell you the PES statutes are good, but I want to tell you the PES colleagues and the colleagues from PES Portugal, they are much better. They made this council possible. Without them, there would be nothing here. What else? Option number two is Portugal is a wonderful country and Lisbon is a beautiful city. I guess, Mr. Mayor, Fernando, that is the explanation. He's agreeing. So we are happy again to be here in Lisbon. Coming to point three. Point three is you have seen this small video, this movie. We are proud and happy to celebrate 25th anniversary of PES. And looking to presidents, to Sita, to Sergei, to Maria Joao, are you happy? Yes, you are. So, happy to celebrate the 25th anniversary, coming from The Hague to Lisbon. And may I tell you, some of you are looking to Berlin at this times. Udo, the head of the delegation of SPD, yesterday the leadership of SPD made a wonderful decision, a wise decision. They sent our leader Martin Schulz to the Chancellor and the Conservatives in Berlin, and they sent us to celebrate with the Council and the Socialists here in Lisbon. Fair enough, I would say. Well, so 3 good reasons to come to Lisbon: the statutes, the anniversary, the city. But now let's talk about politics. Why we are here? We are here to praise and to honor António Costa, the Prime Minister, and PES Portugal. For their friendship and solidarity, for their fight against conservatives and austerity, and for their hard work in favor of more jobs, more growth, and more employment. Thank you for all that, dear friends. And finally, we are here to have a council of discussions in the workshops, in the plenary, in all meetings, and a council of decisions on our way to the next European elections, with resolutions on the reform of EU, on the common candidate, and I guess we will do a good job. And why we will do that? Not only because we are socialists and social democrats and members of labor parties, because we are convinced that finally it's better for Portugal, for every country in Europe and for the European Union when socialists are in office and not the others. And friends, to sum that up, 25 is a wonderful age, perhaps the best age ever. You think then, oh, now I'm old, now I have reached a lot. But in reality, with 25, you are young and fresh, and you have to do much more and I can promise you PES will do much more on our way to win the next European elections. Thank you, all of you. And now when I'm looking to Mariah and Gerrit, we will never come to a city without a small gift as PES. And therefore, I would ask Ana Catarina Mensch, the deputy leader of PES Portugal, come to us.
Thank you very much.
We have the founding document of PES from The Hague, signed by a lot of leaders. And if you have a look, signed by a leader of PES Portugal, yes. The name is Antonio Guterres. I guess he's well known here in this city. So, thank you for everything. It's up to you.
Thank you very much. It's not
Whenever you want. We just talked about her contribution to the Congress and the Council, and we think it's too small for her to do it tomorrow. It's much better. And then I come to a procedure, looking to Jen Royal and Rory Quinn, because the presidency proposed both of them as chairs of the Council, and I need your positive reaction and your vote. I could be more enthusiastic, but I think it was a clear yes. So it's up to you, Jen and Rory. The floor is yours. Thanks a lot.